On the day we buried my mother, my stepsister showed up wearing Mom's favorite gold necklace, the one she promised would be mine someday. I froze. That necklace wasn't just jewelry. It was the last piece of my mother I had left. And seeing it hanging around her neck, like she owned it, felt like a knife twisting in my chest. When I asked her where she got it, she smirked and said, "Mom gave it to me." You were never really her daughter anyway. Everyone heard it. My relatives, my stepdad, they all just stood there in silence, watching me break. I wanted to scream, but Mom had raised me to stay calm, to let truth speak louder than anger. So I stayed quiet. I let her keep the necklace. But what she didn't know was that Mom had left something else behind, something that would expose every lie my stepsister told. Weeks later, when the lawyer played my mother's final recording in front of the entire family, the truth hit like thunder. My stepsister's face went pale, her lies unraveling one by one. That day, I didn't just get Mom's jewelry back. I got justice. Hey everyone. Welcome back to Revenge Flame, where real-life betrayals turn into unforgettable stories of truth, pain, and poetic justice. If you love emotional twists, family secrets, and the kind of revenge that leaves you speechless, you're in the right place. Every week we uncover stories that remind you karma never forgets. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, grab a seat, and get ready because today's story isn't just about stolen jewelry. It's about a daughter's promise, a sister's betrayal, and a mother's final truth that changed everything. I grew up in a blended family that looked perfect from the outside, but inside, there were cracks no one wanted to see. My mom married my stepdad when I was 12. He had a daughter, Lena, who was my age, and from day one, she made sure I knew I didn't belong. Mom always tried to make things fair between us, but Lena couldn't stand it. If Mom bought me a dress, she wanted the same one, only more expensive. If Mom praised me, she'd roll her eyes and call me the charity case. Still, Mom loved her like her own, and I tried to believe things would get better. But after Mom's illness, everything changed. My stepdad became distant, and Lena acted like the house and everything in it was already hers. When Mom passed away, I thought we'd at least have her memories to keep us together. I couldn't have been more wrong, because what Lena did next shattered whatever was left of our family. After Mom's funeral, I moved back into the house she left behind, the only place that still felt like home. But Lena had other plans. She strutted around like she owned everything, ordering the house staff to move my mother's things into the attic. Every time I tried to speak up, my stepdad would sigh and say, "Let it go." She's grieving too, but grief doesn't make you greedy. I started noticing little things missing Mom's silver bracelet, her favorite shawl, even her handwritten recipes. Each time I asked, Lena shrugged. Then one evening, I came home to find her sitting in front of the mirror, wearing Mom's wedding earrings. She looked at me through the reflection and said, "You can't keep pretending you're the real daughter. Dad told me everything." That sentence hit harder than a slap. What did she mean by everything? Why was my stepdad suddenly avoiding me? The house that once felt like comfort now felt like a stranger's home. Something was wrong, and deep down, I knew Mom had left me a truth. Lena wasn't ready for anyone to find. It all came crashing down a week later. I was in Mom's old room trying to organize her things, when I noticed her jewelry box was gone. Panic rushed through me. That box held every memory of her, from the ring she wore when I was born to the necklace she promised would be mine. I stormed into Lena's room, and there it was open on her dresser, sparkling under the light. Every single piece was gone except one, a broken pendant Mom used to fix often. When I confronted her, she laughed. "You seriously think you deserve this? You're not even her blood. Everything in this house belongs to me now." Her words hit me like a blade. My stepdad stood in the doorway, silent, refusing to meet my eyes. That silence hurt more than her cruelty. I left the room shaking, tears burning down my face. For the first time, I realized they'd already erased me from Mom's story. But they underestimated one thing. Mom never left anything unfinished. And neither would I. A few days later, the lawyer called and asked me to come to Mom's office. He said there was something in her will that couldn't be read without both of us present. Lena rolled her eyes when she heard, already assuming everything was hers. "Fine," she said smugly. "I'll come just to make it official." When we arrived, the entire family was there, my stepdad, relatives, and Mom's best friend. The lawyer handed me a small envelope sealed with Mom's handwriting. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside was a USB drive and a note. "Play this when you're ready for the truth." The lawyer plugged it in, and Mom's voice filled the room. "My dear girls," she began softly, "if you're watching this, it means I'm gone. I want to set something straight. Lena, I love you, but these jewels, they belong to my daughter, the one who stayed by my side through every storm. Lena's face turned pale. Mom continued, and to my husband, I hope you remember your promise, that this house and everything in it stays with the one who cared for me till my last breath. Gasps echoed through the room. Lena tried to argue, but the lawyer pulled out the official documents, signed and sealed by Mom weeks before her death. For once, I didn't have to say a word. The truth spoke louder than my pain. And as I looked at Lena clutching the necklace, she no longer had any right to. I finally felt peace. Mom had kept her promise. Lena stormed out of the lawyer's office that day, her face red with humiliation. My stepdad followed her, too ashamed to look at me. For years, I had lived in their shadow, ignored, disrespected, and treated like an outsider in my own home. But that moment, that silence after Mom's words played, it was the loudest victory of my life. The jewelry, the house, the documents, they were all officially mine. But what meant more than any of it was the truth finally being known. Mom's voice, her love, her faith in me, that was my real inheritance. Lena tried reaching out weeks later, pretending to apologize, but I didn't respond. Some apologies come only when pride runs out, not when hearts change. Now, every morning, when I see Mom's necklace shining in the sunlight, I remember her words. The truth always finds its way home. And it did. That day, I didn't just reclaim jewelry, I reclaimed my worth. Looking back, I realized that revenge doesn't always come in the form of anger sometimes. It's simply the truth being revealed at the right moment. For so long, I thought silence made me weak, that not fighting back meant losing. But in the end, it was my patience, my faith in Mom's love, that turned everything around. I could have screamed, exposed Lena earlier, or lashed out in anger, but that would have made me like her. Instead, I chose to wait, to trust that what's built on lies will eventually collapse. And it did. What Mom taught me that day, even from beyond the grave, is that real strength isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's the courage to let truth speak for you. So if you've ever been betrayed by the ones you loved most, remember this: don't rush your revenge. Let karma take its time, because when it arrives, it never misses. So tell me, what would you have done in my place? Would you have stayed silent like I did, or confronted them the moment you saw your mother's jewelry around someone else's neck? Sometimes life doesn't give us justice right away, but when it comes, it hits harder than we ever imagined. I learned that truth doesn't need to shout, it just needs to be heard. If this story touched your heart or reminded you of your own struggles, let me know in the comments below. I read every single one of them, your stories, your pain, your strength. They inspire me to keep sharing these moments of truth and revenge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Revenge Flame, because every week we bring you stories that prove karma never forgets. And remember, sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying someone. It's rebuilding yourself so beautifully that they can't stand to watch. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and never underestimate the power of truth.